Everybody stop what you're doing. I believe we have the EOMM update.
Hi Rivals, I'm Zuyong. We've heard your passionate feedback and ongoing discussions about matchmaking and ranking in Marvel Rivals. Your voices matter, and we want to give you a transparent look into how these systems work.
Is this low? Is it low?
Quick heads up, any numbers used are for illustrative purpose only, and the calculation process is also simplified for easier understanding and does not represent the full detailed formulas.
Here we go.
After every competitive match, your score is calculated based on two key components, base points and performance points, each weighted according to your current rank. The formula looks like this.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I'm too stupid, but okay.
Match outcome, your current competitive score, average competitive score of the enemy team. First, the match result determines whether you gain or lose points. Win and you will gain points, lose and you will lose points. Second,
Simple.
the difference between your competitive score and the enemy team's average competitive score affects how many points you gain or lose. If a player's competitive score is lower than that of the enemy team, the system recognizes that the player is challenging a stronger opponent. In this case, a victory will grant an extra bonus to the base points, while a defeat will result in fewer points deductions. The reverse applies when facing lower ranked teams.
So if you're getting absolutely pummeled and you lose less points than if it's a close game and you'll lose more points is how I interpret that, right? Because like if you, let's say like the enemy team has like, say everybody has 20 kills on the enemy team and everybody on your team has like 11, 12, 13, whatever, but you guys still win, then you'll get more points for winning that game than you would if y'all all had 20 kills and the enemy team had like 10 kills each. Then you'll win, you'll gain points, but you won't gain as many, is how I interpret that.
Examples: players' competitive score 3,500, enemy team's average 3,500, win plus 20 base points, lost minus 20 base points. Players' competitive score 3,500, enemy team's average 3,700, win plus 25 base points.
Okay, so yeah, you get more.
Minus 15 base points.
Okay.
Players' competitive score 3,500, enemy team's average 3,300, win plus 15 base points, lost minus 25 base points.
Okay, so literally kind of what I just said. If the enemy team is better than you and you win, you gain more. If you lose, you gain less because they're better than you. But you lose less if the enemy team is not better than you in their score, but you still lose, then you'll lose actually more points.
This reflects your individual performance tailored to your hero's role.
And that's the base.
Performance points reflect how well you played during the match. Because heroes in Marvel Rivals have widely different powers and roles, we don't just tally up stats. Even if two players contribute equally to the outcome, their raw stats may look very different depending on which hero they played. Instead, to accurately evaluate your impact, we use several steps to calculate performance points. For each hero used in the match, we normalize match stats to a per 10-minute value and convert that into a single performance value. We compare that to the average performance value for that same hero at your rank, also per 10 minutes. That gives a hero-specific performance coefficient. The better you perform versus the average, the higher your coefficient. If you played multiple heroes, we time weight those to get your match coefficient. We then compare your performance coefficient to your team's average to determine your final performance points. Examples.
Yeah, give me an example on that.
One player spends 4 minutes as Loki and 6 minutes as Invisible Woman in a 10-minute match.
Okay.
Let's break down the performance points calculation. First, the system converts their in-game stats to 10-minute averages and then convert them into performance value. Assuming Loki has a performance value of 1,200 and Invisible Woman has 1,000.
Okay.
The system finds the
averages, then converts them into a performance value.
average performance value for Diamond 1 players with those heroes, which we will assume Loki and Invisible Woman both are 1,000. We then calculate the performance coefficients. Loki's coefficient is 1.2, while Invisible Woman's is 1. This is then weighted by playtime. The overall coefficient works out to be 1.08.
Okay, so when you're playing a hero, it is compared to other players at that same rank playing on said hero. So the average of Loki players, like in this example, right? The average Loki player that is also Diamond 1 is 1,000. But you played Loki at 1,200, right? So you got a performance value of 1,200, even though the average is 1,000. So your coefficient is 1.2 because you played higher than the average Diamond 1 Loki player. Okay, but you played Invisible Woman the same as the average Invisible Woman Diamond 1 player. So you only get, it's only 1. Then it's weighted by playtime. Overall coefficient works out to be 1.08, which is 1.2 times 0.4. I don't know where this, because of the minutes. And then 1 times 0.6 because you spent 6 minutes as a Visible Woman. So you take those two multiplications, you add them together, and that's where you get your 1.08. And then
coefficient is compared to the other 5 teammates. Let's say that they are
0.8,
0.8, 0.8, and 1.15, resulting in an average of 0.97. This gives us the final adjusted performance coefficient of 1.11.
Okay. So it actually gets bumped up because your team did well.
Once both your base points and performance points are calculated.
Oh no, because your team is a little lower. So it gets bumped up because you're getting compensated, basically, is what I'm looking at.
Your final score is determined by weighting these two parts. The weights vary by rank. As you climb the ranks, the weighting of base points will gradually increase, while performance points weighting decreases. In lower ranks, performance points have a higher weight to help skilled players rise faster. Higher ranks shift weight towards base points for consistency. Example: a player wins a rank match, earning 20 base points and 30 performance points. If the player is in silver, with a base point weight of 0.4 and a performance point weight of 0.6, the final score gained is 26. If the player is in celestial, with a base point weight of 0.7 and a performance point weight of 0.3, the final score gained is 23.
So if you're playing at a higher rank, it's basically, if you're playing at a higher rank, they expect you to play at a higher level. So meeting that requirement awards less points because you're expected to play at that rank or at that level. Is how I'm like interpreting this. Like, especially if you're playing higher than the average silver player, depending on how much higher of the silver player you play is how fast they'll try to get you out of that rank. So that's how I see it. Matchmaking says, well, so this is the part that everybody wants to talk about. How does the matchmaking work?
Our players hail from all corners of the globe, each with different time zones and connection speeds. Balancing fast matchmaking with fair matches has always been our challenge and focus for ongoing improvement. In Marvel Rivals, players are matched based on server node selection, team composition, competitive score. Once matchmaking starts, the system looks for opponents on your chosen server or servers. As wait time increases, the system gradually expands the search to higher and lower ranks, helping you get into a match promptly. The expansion is kept to prevent unbalanced games. Once we have 12 players within the acceptable rank range, the match is set. Teams are then arranged to minimize differences in average competitive scores.
Okay.
Team matchmaking is based on team size. For fairness, a 6-player team will only face another 6-player team. Finding an exact match can take time when taking into account all the factors, like competitive scores, server selection, etc. Since launch, 5-player teams have been disabled to protect solos. For other team size, the system opens up to more combinations as wait time increases. Take a 4-player team, for example. The first system tries to match with another 4-player team, but if none are promptly found, it will eventually expand to mixed teams like 4-1-1 versus 3-2-1. Longer waits means broader competitive score ranges, and reaching the upper limit of the range can result in a difference in scores between the two teams. From the matchmaking results, this would appear to be an unbalanced battle. However, tightening the rules would mean much longer waits and a bad experience. This is the core challenge, balancing matchmaking quality and speed. Team kills make this speed versus quality trade-off more noticeable. At higher ranks, there are fewer players and they are spread across different servers, so this happens more often. So, after careful review, starting in Season 3.5, we've temporarily restricted teams of 4 or 6 players from matchmaking at higher ranks, where their balanced matches are harder to find. Moving forward, we will continue to explore new solutions to better meet the diverse needs of players. To help you better understand how the matchmaking system works, here's an example scenario. Suppose Player A teams up with Player B and Player C to queue for competitive. In this scenario, Player A is Diamond 1, Player B is Diamond 3, Player C is Platinum 1. The average rank of this 3-player team is around Diamond 3. They select only the Oregon server node for matchmaking. Since there aren't enough teams of the same size and rank in the queue on this node, the matchmaking system gradually expands the search range as time passes. After 5 minutes, the system finds 9 more players who meet the criteria. These 9 players include another 3-player team with an average rank of Platinum 1, a 2-player team with an average rank of Diamond 2, and 4 solo players: Player D, Diamond 1, Player E, Diamond 2, Player F, Platinum 1, Player G, Diamond 2. To ensure fairness, the system first places the 2 3-person teams on opposite sides. Then, the remaining team compositions are Side A, 3-player team plus 2-player team plus 1 solo player. Side B, 3-player team plus 3 solo players. Now, the exact team split is determined by the solo players to make both sides' average ranks as close as possible. The fairest division is Side A, 3-player team, Diamond 3 average, plus 2-player team, Diamond 2 average, plus Player F, Platinum 1. Side B, 3-player team, Platinum 1 average, plus Player D, Diamond 1, plus Player E, Diamond 2, plus Player G, Diamond 2. In this scenario, there are still notable rank gaps within each side. For example, Side A's player F, Platinum 1, and Side B's player D, Diamond 1, each have a 2 to 3 division differences from their teammates. This means there can be internal team imbalances. Assume once the match begins, the role selections are as follows. Side A, the 3-player team picks a Vanguard player A, Duelist player B, and Strategist player C. The 2-player team chooses a Vanguard and a Duelist player F. A Duelist may stick with his preferred role instead of filling the missing Strategist slot. To balance the team, the Duelist player B from the 3-player team fills as a Strategist. Side B, the 3-player team picks a Vanguard, Duelist, and Strategist. Player D picks an additional Strategist. Player E picks another Vanguard. Player G picks another Duelist. We believe that this is a situation many players have encountered before. In this case, Side B has a strategic advantage, as all 6 players are playing their main roles. On Side A, a Duelist main is forced to fill as a Strategist. And the lowest ranked player is also playing Duelist, which may weaken the team's synergy.
Okay, so I mean, thoughts on that in the comments. I'm probably gonna have to go back and watch that a couple times. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm too stupid to realize what he just said. But how it was presented is that basically, you know, it's trying to find the average and match those teams up as close as it can, and to prevent super long wait times, it may go up a little higher or a little lower, and it may be a little more imbalanced. But that's also why your points at the end, like the performance points and all that stuff at the end, is averaged and looked at based on, is that other team more powerful, and did they get more kills, and did they do more stuff, and did we do more stuff, and like it adjusts accordingly to that. So it presentationally, it seems to be as fair as it can be, while also trying to maintain lower queue times. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Here we go.
Engagement optimized matchmaking. This would imply manipulating the matchmaking queue to keep players' win rates around 50%, ensuring they remain engaged in the game. We want to be clear. Marvel Rivals does not use EOMM. So, why do some matches feel uneven? Why do certain players encounter win or loss streaks? We would like to take this opportunity to provide some insights, hoping to clarify some of the confusion for everyone. In a competitive two-sided game, the fewer players on each side, the more accurately the competitive score reflects individual skill. However, as team size increases, this accuracy drops, since even if both teams have identical average scores, other factors like teamwork and coordination can sway the outcome. Additionally, because we don't lock roles, players might end up playing a role they are less comfortable with, which means they may not perform at their rank's full potential. Even if you are assigned your preferred role, playing a hero you are less skilled with can also affect your impact in the match. So, why don't we add role queue? First, we believe that allowing players the freedom to play as their favorite superheroes and team up with others to create diverse creative team combos encourages more varied strategies and gameplay. Second, adding role-based matchmaking would significantly increase queue times, while still failing to fully eliminate skill discrepancies between matches. Where there are choices, there will be differences. Objectively, it's quite challenging to have an equal number of players across the 3 roles. To strike a balance between matchmaking speed and fairness, the competitive score ranges for each roles would have to differ. Roles with fewer players would have lower competitive score thresholds, while roles with more players would require higher thresholds. This, in turn, will lead to greater variance in match quality. We are working to introduce more interesting vanguards and strategies in future updates to give players more choices. But these changes will take time to develop. We thank you for your patience.
Yeah, because they're set out like far in advance. Like they've already got their heroes.
Statistically, win and loss streaks are a matter of probability. For example, if two sides are truly 50-50, over 3 games, the chance of 3 consecutive wins or losses is 12.5%. Over 10 games, the chance of 3 or more wins or losses in a row rises to 50%. So, over enough games, everyone will eventually experience win or loss streaks. For those interested, you can use tools to calculate the probability of achieving a streak, whether it's 5 consecutive wins or 5 consecutive losses, under different win rate scenarios over 10 matches. Of course, the game isn't pure math. Several in-game factors can increase the likelihood and impact of streaks, making these experiences feel more pronounced. For example, team average scores are rarely perfectly balanced, so actually win rates may not be exactly 50%. When queuing consecutively, you may face some of the same players in back-to-back games, which can carry over the outcome chance from previous matches. This is even more common in team matchmaking, where the pool of available combinations is smaller, especially during off-peak hours or in less populated regions. Even if the probability of a streak occurring is just 1%, Marvel Rivals' large player base means many will experience that.
Before he gets to his final thoughts, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. So there's no engagement optimized matchmaking in the game, period. Argument over. Done. There are reasons why you experience win-loss streaks, why you experience certain things, why it feels like, and a lot of it depends on too many factors, basically, is what he's saying. It depends on too many factors to like narrow it down. Like, this is the reason why you went on a loss streak. It could be something as simple as you were rage queuing and you just kept queuing, and since you were pissed off, you weren't playing well, and all you needed to do was get off the game, take a break, but you kept queuing, so you got more and more angry every single loss, but you played worse and worse, and it just spiraled. And that's just one little example. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts.
We are constantly analyzing feedback and refining our systems. Your trust and input help us shape a better experience. Thank you for being part of the Marvel Rivals community. We are excited to keep improving with you.
Wow. So yeah. Thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Ooh, this one's gonna be interesting to watch, the reactions that come out of this video. As for me and my thoughts, I remain unchanged. I remain the same way I felt about comp since almost day one. Is I will play comp to get to where I need to get, which is gold 3 at the moment, to acquire the special costumes. And honestly, I get tilted. I get very stressed out playing competitive because I know there's something on the line. And so it stresses me out, especially if I'm not playing good, or if a teammate's not playing good, or if something feels like it's out of my control. I get very tilted very quickly. So I don't play comp because of my own mental health and whatever, you know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm mentally weak for that. Who cares? But I'm playing the game to have fun, right? And I play comp so I can get the costume and I can go show off the costume and have fun. That's why I'm playing this game. So, and I just want to play it and have a good time. I don't want to sit here and get stressed out about playing a game. So that's my take on it. That's my thoughts. That's for me. If you agree with that, You know, let me know if you disagree with that. Let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comments down below, and let me know your thoughts, because this one is going to divide a lot of people. A lot of people are still going to believe that EOMM bandwagon train, that EOMM is real and they're lying to us and blah blah blah. It's just going to happen. I played with somebody the other night who literally was like, he was speaking as if, no, this is how this game works. Okay, the system will match you up with this person and this, and I just stayed quiet because I was like, I don't really know this guy. Not my friend. He's somebody else's friend that I'm playing with. You know, I made a joke or two here and there, like, oh yeah, EOMM demons, you know what I mean? But it's like, I never truly believed in it. It's more so just like it's a fun topic to speculate. And always, people are always looking for something to blame other than themselves, when really 9 times out of 10, if you're good enough, EOMM can't even stop you. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my take on it. That's my 2 cents. But yeah, this one's gonna be a hot one. Like the video if you like it, subscribe to join the journey, hit the bell, get notified when I upload. That's it for this one. Catch you in the next one. Peace.